What's up, everyone? We are live at 5 here at Broadway.com. It is Wednesday, December 19th. I'm Paul Wontorek.
And I'm Beth Stevens.
And over there's Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
And one of our favorite theatrical triple threats, Mr. Gavin Lee is here. You love him in many things, but right now he is the Grinch. I know you know the Grinch. The Grinch is here. We're going to get to him. First, today's top 5.
We had a little bit of a director switcheroo.
That's right. We did have a little bit of a director switcheroo. We're talking about All My Sons, the Arthur Miller revival that's coming this spring. Was supposed to be directed by Gregory Mosher, veteran of the theater. There was a disagreement with the Miller estate and Rebecca Miller, Arthur Miller's son, the playwright Arthur Miller. So Mr. Mosher has withdrawn from the production, and Jack O'Brien is taking over the reins.
It's unusual that we hear, normally they just say, like, creative differences, but they
differences.
specifically said
Casting differences.
casting disagreement.
That's right.
But they already cast it. Like,
No,
or I
just
guess
the
they haven't
leads.
announced all the
Just
actors.
the leads have been cast, and
Okay.
they're apparently still in auditions. And now Mr. O'Brien won't be making those decisions. But everything is still on track. Tracy Letts and Annette Bening have been announced for the
They
production.
agree. They agree over them.
Everybody's cool.
Everyone
Tracy
likes them.
And Annette. The play will begin April 4th and open on April 22nd at the American Airlines Theater.
It's a good play.
It's a good play.
And we have some sad news to talk about today.
Everyone knows the music of Galt McDermott.
I sure do.
Fantastic Hair, the musical Hair. Of course, it's iconic. I think we all grew up learning dirty words from the score
Sure did.
of Hair. At least I know I did. Mr. McDermott died on December 17th, one day before his 90th birthday. So he was 89. Those of you who aren't good at math. He made his Broadway debut writing the music to Hair. He also was musical director. He won a Tony and a Grammy for Hair. He also wrote the fantastic Two Gentlemen of Verona, which actually won the Tony for Best Musical in 1972, I believe, the year I was born. It came out in 71, but I'm pretty sure that was like,
This is
they
important.
have like, anyway.
How does it relate to you? Tell us
I'm
more.
sorry. He also wrote Via Galactica, Dude, the Human Comedy. He was one of these hippie revolutionaries, changing Broadway back in the day because Hair was a big hit and it came from downtown. And then they tried all these other crazy shows, and they really were boundary breaking musicals. And anyway,
And pop sensations. Everyone sang those songs from Hair.
yeah. And let's not forget they're going to be singing the songs from Hair on May 19th on NBC's Hair Live.
And it's time to meet the new guy on the street where you live.
We have some new casting for My Fair Lady. Christian Dante White is taking over the role of Freddie from Jordan Donica. Jordan will play his last performance on December 30th, and Christian Dante White will begin on January 8th. Now, I just saw him. He was an understudy and in the ensemble of Hello, Dolly. He played.
Right. Okay.
I saw him. Gavin
Barnaby.
Creel was out, and I saw him. He was so
Cornelius.
He was so fantastic.
Yeah.
Such a talented guy. So. That's
That's
wonderful
right.
news.
That's right. I remember he went
He
on
was
a lot.
also, just so you guys know, he was also in the Book of Mormon, Scottsboro Boys, and Shuffle Along.
And a new comedy solo show is coming off Broadway.
Beth and I both love Mr. Colin Quinn.
He's one of the funniest interviews I've ever done, truly.
Really?
Yeah, I had to close my office door. I was
Is there
laughing
a trophy
so
for that?
hard. No, there is not.
He's coming back with a new show. He does solo shows, and they are sometimes Jerry Seinfeld directs them.
Sometimes.
This one is not. The fantastic Bobby Morsecco, rhymes with Prosecco, will direct it. It's at the Minetta Lane Theater off Broadway. It's called Red State, Blue State, so I think it might be a little political.
He likes to educate his audiences
It'll
a little
also
bit.
be recorded live by Audible. That's a thing they do at the Minetta Lane. Have you been to the Minetta Lane? Do they have microphones everywhere?
I haven't been, but I've listened to them before on
you have?
Audible,
Okay.
and they're great.
It's like it's a thing.
It's a
It
thing.
starts January 5th, opens January 22nd. He was on Saturday Night Live. He's hilarious. Some of his solo shows, An Irish Wake, Long Story Short, and The New York Story. He's great.
And new episode alert.
So we
this is
like to
about us.
talk about ourselves, don't we? I mean, everyone does. Gavin Lee's going to come do it in a second. But first, we're going to talk about these two. We have a new episode of our new Broadway.com show called Front Row, and you spoke to a very fascinating individual.
Mr. Lin-Manuel Miranda, you may have heard of him. His name is not Lin Miranda, by the way.
It's Lin-Manuel.
A lot of TV
Miranda.
shows just call him Lin Miranda.
That's incorrect.
Lin-Manuel. They just
Although
call him Lin-Manuel.
we've known him for a long
Joy
time.
Behar, it's not, there's a Miranda in there.
Okay, thank you.
Just saying. Or they just call him Lin.
so
but it's Lin-Manuel Miranda.
It's
He's a very
not an
fancy guy.
interview
Wonder.
about his name, though.
We talked about Mary Poppins live, and
Live.
Gavin Lee is going to talk about Mary Poppins in a minute too, because there's a connection there.
There is.
And we talked about everything he's involved in. So many things I'm excited
He's a
about.
busy guy.
Starting with the movie of In the Heights, which I'm super excited about.
That's right. And then I spoke with the legendary costume designer Bob Mackie.
Yeah, I was a little
And
jealous.
I also spoke with Michael Bress, who plays Bob Mackie in the Cher Show, because he's also a character. I also
Michael Brett is a character.
He's
He's
a
very funny.
but he's wonderful. And I also interviewed Lee Hall, who adapted Patty Chayefsky's screenplay of Network for the stage.
Yeah.
And Dave Itzkoff, who's a culture reporter at the New York Times, wrote a book about Network, so I got some insights from him.
I haven't read that book, but I read David
So
Scott's
good.
fantastic Robin Williams biography.
Best of the year.
So good. Oh.
It's been made a lot of best of the year lists.
Our best of the year
All
lists aren't
right.
ready yet. They're coming out
coming.
soon. Beth, before Mr. Gavin Lee comes in, I just want to say I'm leaving. So this is my last day I'm going to see you. So I hope you have a nice holiday.
Thank you, you
Hope you all have
too.
a nice holiday. I'm out after Gavin Lee.
Well,
We are not
Well, how
out.
could I
Tune in
top-
tomorrow.
Tune in tomorrow.
How could I
but-
top talking to Gavin Lee? The year's over.
Wow, that's not nice
Thank you,
for our
Beth.
guests tomorrow on Friday. Okay.
Happy holidays. Hey, Caitlin, tell us about our guest.
Gladly. We have Tony nominee Gavin Lee with us today because he's currently playing everyone's favorite Christmas hater, the Grinch, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas at Madison Square Garden. He earned Tony nominations for his work in Mary Poppins and SpongeBob SquarePants. He also appeared in Les Mis on the Broadway. His screen credits include White Collar, Law & Order SVU, and more. Follow him on Instagram at GavUSA, not Gav BBC, because there's Gavin Lee BBC out there. Not this guy. Not this guy.
Yes, yes.
And leave all of your questions in the comments down below. And please welcome Gavin and Paul.
Hello, sir.
Yay.
It's great to be
Yay.
back sitting here with you again.
good to see
I'm a bit
you.
croaky today. I do apologise.
It's okay.
It's the voice I'm putting on, the stupid voice I'm
What is
doing
the
as the
voice
Grinch.
like? What is the
Well, he's just like this all the time.
It's a lot.
I sound like a Muppet. It's not
You
normally
are-
that gravelly, but
you're a
because I've got
living
sort of, it
Muppet.
came out a bit like I'm on Sesame Street.
How's the green? You're having an Elphaba moment.
Yes, someone told me it's called Alphaba Green.
Oh,
Alphaba Green. How cool is that?
the Grinch was around before Elphaba.
Exactly. I'm going to get that changed. No, it's the first few shows I did, I went home and my wife is like, what's that in your ear? What's that in your nose? Where I
Right.
didn't quite get all the makeup off. But now it's I don't know how the alphabets do it because I don't have to do my hands.
Oh,
They
right.
ha-
Yeah,
and
you
they
were
have
like,
to
right.
do. I have to do my ears, which is good. I did originally, and then I was to the wig mistress. I was like, "Can we just like backcomb the wig so that it covers my ears?"
Right.
And so now I don't
I
need
have
to do
2
my.
Tony nominations.
I don't need to be getting green out of my
I
ears.
really have to get a Q-tip in there and get the
Jeez.
green out.
So yeah, it's fine.
Are you having fun?
I love
It's a
it.
really
It's the
fun
best
role.
role. It's like you're just so mean. Like
Yeah.
a kid says something in the audience, and I have carte blanche to just turn to them and say, "Shut up."
Right.
I can like the director was very much like in the script at this point. At this point, if you can ad lib. If the kids say anything, you can add 5 minutes to the show here if you want. I mean, that's not really me. I'm not really I'm not a stand-up comedian. I haven't got jokes up my sleeve. So
Yeah.
I like to. So originally I was like, yeah, I won't be doing that. I want to stick to the script because I'm only just
Yeah.
learning it. Because there's only 2 of us in the company that are brand new. Everyone else has done it before.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was like, they all know what they're doing. I don't. I'll be sticking to the script. But now we're like week 5, week 6 of the run. There's been a few times where I can turn to the audience because an annoying kid in the front row has just dropped his popcorn everywhere, and I'll make a comment about it.
That's good. You can get out of your system. You know, I'm thinking about the progression of your roles. You know, I first met you. You were the lovely Bert in Mary Poppins. Such a nice guy. You're on a path. You're on a path
when
to
it would go
evil.
and sleep you down to Thenardier.
Yeah, Thenardier.
Most
Yeah,
hideous
yeah.
human
And
being on the
Squidward was
planet.
just, you know, Squidward and SpongeBob. I know you all love that because we all love it here. Caitlin is crying over there.
Yeah.
Because we wish, you know, SpongeBob was still around, but
Me
we
too,
all do.
me too.
But he was just kind of, he was cranky and he had a lot of
Cranky
issues.
hated his neighbours. See, Squidward and Grinch very much the same. They hate their neighbours.
Right.
Whereas Squidward just moaned about it, Grinch wants to ruin their lives,
Right.
like ruin their day,
Yeah.
and almost succeeds.
Yeah.
But what the funnest thing about this role is, I'm a mean one, Mr. Grinch,
Yes.
for the whole show. And then when I steal everything and I'm like, ha ha ha, the evil villain, and I think I've ruined it for all the Who's, and they still all hold hands and sing around a bare, empty tree because I've stolen all the lights and the tinsel,
Yeah.
and they're still singing Fa-doo-da, their beautiful song. It's so nice as an actor to then have that scene which flips me 180 degrees to like, oh, it's not about the presents and the tinsel and the food. It's about love, and that's of course when my heart grows 3 sizes, which is very cool, and that's one of my favorite bits. I have this gadget on my chest underneath the fur that lights up, and again the director's like, do whatever you want with the boom boom boom. So I'm in ER going trying to get a laugh at being completely over the top. Me over the top.
People love this. Is this a big story in England too?
No.
It's not.
No, I don't think we even had it. We had Dr. Seuss. I remember having Cat in the Hat and a few other of the books in the library. I don't really remember the Grinch because I've been here 12 years now, and every Christmas on every channel they'll play at least once the Grinch. So I feel I know the Grinch, and we have the book at home. My kids have read the Grinch to my kids for the last.
There's a new Grinch movie, isn't there?
Yeah,
It's so
with
good.
another Brit.
Right.
Randomly
Right.
playing. I mean, because someone said, well, you can kind of just do your own. He hasn't got to be American, has he? And I'm like, well, because Boris Karloff did it in the original TV movie, and he's American, but he's got that sort of mid-Atlantic sort of Katharine Hepburn sort of thing. so I'm playing it as Katharine Hepburn. It's really working for me. No, so I am playing him American, but I do. But I have again. I can slip out and go into whatever accent I want because the character's just so ridiculous. You can scream and shout and growl and be English or be American or be Spanish, whatever he wants.
It really works as a stage show, though. I mean, they started it like at the Old Globe, I think, like years ago, and then it sort of grew, and they did it every year, and then it came to Broadway, and they just kept growing, and
yes,
and
I
now
think
you have this enormous. What's it called? The Hulu Theater.
Hulu Theater, Madison
Hulu
Square.
Theater. In other words, they signed the check for the sponsorship
Yes,
of
they
the
do.
theater.
Of course they do. And I don't think I've ever played such a big theater. We did Chicago and Boston before this, and they were huge touring houses. But Madison Square I think it's nearly 5,000 seats.
Yeah.
And
That's
I went
crazy.
and sat the annoying thing for the audience is there's not a balcony or a mezzanine.
Right,
It
it just
just
goes straight back.
back.
Yeah.
So I went back during we had a quick tech dress rehearsal before we started. I went and sat in the back row, and I went, yeah, you're getting to see the show for $30, but I'm gonna be a green blob that big. So if you can spend a little bit more than the $15
You're a
cheaper seat.
professional. You can project to the back of the house.
Well, that's the good thing is you've got me in the role, and I am not a small actor. I'm stupidly over the top.
But
so,
you also, you can, like what you said, popcorn. You can eat popcorn, and it's a different game.
It's a
little more like the circus.
It's a different order. They think, are we going to see a basketball game at Madison Square, or are we going to see a show? Because it's the same audience. Nearer the back, the people at the front who've paid the big bucks, they want to come see a theatre show. They're Broadway people, and they're fantastic, and they sit there and they love it. If you look a little bit further back, there's some popcorn being thrown, and there's beer, and there's lots of people on their phone.
You've been in a lot of fantastic shows, but how did SpongeBob change you? Well, how did that whole experience? What did that experience mean now that you've sort of had a little distance from it?
It was the group of people, and it was everyone, but Tina Landau was at the top.
Sounds like Tina Landau really
Tina
sort
Landau
of
is just such the
really
best
created it together.
person, and she's so creative, and the best leader, because she didn't want to be the leader. She was like, no, this is everyone's work. And the same with Chris Cotelli, he's like, this was everyone's work. I asked him, I messaged him a few weeks ago, is it okay, I'm doing a master class, can I teach some of your choreography? He went, of course, never ask me again. It was our choreography. Yes, my name was on the poster, but we all created it. You never have to ask me again. I'm like, what a great family we had. And like you said, being it should still be on, I'm a little bit bitter we're all a little bitter that it's not still on because, and I think really it was just the fact that it was SpongeBob SquarePants the musical. People didn't want to see that. But then when they saw the show, they wanted to come back and see that show again and again and again.
Yep.
I think it was unfortunate that the title, I think it was the title. No one wanted to see that on stage until they saw it.
Yeah.
But by then, Palace kicked us out because they're doing these massive renovations, and it's going to be a brand new theatre in 4 years' time.
They're lifting the theater.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to happen.
It's going to be ridiculous. They're going to lift that whole Judy Garland Theatre up.
Lifting it.
Up 36 feet.
36?
Yeah, 3 flights.
Oh, my.
So where we were
I was
performing...
thinking
will be
like 8 feet.
No, 3... No, so they can have retail underneath. So there can be a Gap and an Urban Outfitters underneath there. It's far more important on Times Square.
It's the world we live in. Can we talk about Mary Poppins? So today is the day that Mary Poppins returns. It's in movie theaters. So everyone go check out that new Disney movie musical. You, of course, were the...
Spent 8 years with the lovely Mary Poppins.
What was the year... when did it open in London?
2004.
Okay, 2004.
And
It was such a big deal because it was kind of like Disney had been creating a lot of musicals and stage musicals, but it was like, oh no, now we're doing this one that everyone loves. And,
Yes.
and you must
And
remember. And I feel like the movie almost has that same pressure now because it's like
Such a pressure.
it is a pressure because there's so many memories and so many things people sort of expect from it. And
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing it because the trailers I've seen, it's Mary Poppins Returns. It's not
it's not a remake.
at
It's
the
a sequel.
moment. The bits they're showing me, I'm like, oh, this is a remake.
There are elements
Because,
it hints to a lot of the elements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which will please all those people that
Yeah.
absolutely love the movie from the 60s. So it'll be really interesting. But I mean, I'm just hearing great things about
Yeah.
it. So obviously, Rob Marshall and the actors in the lead roles
Yeah.
have done a fantastic job, and it's going to be fabulous for Christmas.
Yeah, and it's Jack. It's not Bert. It's Jack. Lynn plays Jack.
Yes,
but
he
knew
does.
Bert. He knew Bert.
Which is,
so you knew Jack.
I knew Jack.
You knew
Yeah.
Jack.
And do you know what I said? I said, Jack, I don't want to do the new movie. You do it. I'm done with that Mary girl.
I love it. Hey, Caitlin, are there any questions?
Yes, we can do a quick few. So the first one is people want to know, is it a lot easier being on 2 legs now instead of 4?
Oh,
Do you know what? I've lost for anyone confused, I had 4 legs for SpongeBob.
Yes.
So I've lost 2 of those, but now,
Danced with them.
But now I have these fingers.
right.
The Grinch has these great big long gloves that are underneath the big green furry costume. And I guess the fingers come out to here. And there's so many props in the show. Like, I have to steal the whole set. You're Me One, Mr. Grinch is me stealing all the presents and everything.
Yeah.
And you just try and pick anything up. It's before the show, I like to have a Ricola for my throat. And every day as I put my gloves on, it's like, I'm sorry, I've forgotten my Ricola again. And the dresser has to unwrap a candy for me and hold it into my hand like I'm a baby. And I'm like... and then all the fur goes in my mouth, and so these hands are actually just as hard as the legs were. So
Wow.
it might be nice in my next role, if there was to be one, that I'm perhaps in normal clothes, a pair of jeans and a shirt, maybe.
Yes.
You can play a human.
But I'm not complaining. I mean,
No.
the last few shows I've done, which, Thénardier was massive makeup thing, and then Squidward with the legs, and now the Grinch, they're just so over the top, exaggerated characters, which are just so fun to play. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So who knows what's next?
I love that. And we can do one more question. And what is your favorite part of the show that gets like the most audience reaction?
My favorite part of the show, we kind of talked about it, is when I'm on top of the mountain and I've stolen everything, and I look back down to Whoville, and I see that they're not, and I'm expecting them all to be crying. I'm like, get ready. I say, get ready, Max. Get ready for a Whoville boo-hoo, meaning they're all going to be going, and they all start singing, and I'm just like devastated that it's all gone wrong. And then through that scene, I work out that it's not about the presents, and that's when my heart grows, and I think that gets the best response.
You just like doing that.
I just like doing this. It's a good exercise. And then the music changes, and it normally gets a round of applause, and really all I've done is just this for a bit, and there's a little light that goes boom, boom, and grows my heart. But it's such a nice moment because all the audience are like, yeah, he's not a meanie anymore.
It's kind of like Panto in that way, right? Because in
Yeah.
Panto, the British thing, they all yell and the villains.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like that.
and there's
You're
a
like,
lot of
you're
yelling,
doing
and
it.
there's a lot of me breaking the fourth wall and talking to the audience, which
Yeah.
so it's very Panto-like.
Cool.
Love
Thank
that.
you so much for being here.
I love being here.
So you're at the Hulu Theater down at Madison Square Garden through the 30th, correct?
Yep, and that's only 2 more weeks, but the producers are horrible. We have about 6,000 more shows in 2 weeks.
6,000
So
more
there's
performances.
any hour you want to come to see the show, we're probably doing a show.
Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great holiday.
You too.
Merry Christmas to your whole family. And all of you, too. I'll see you in the new year. I will, but we'll be on tomorrow. Caitlin will tell you more.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single day on Facebook. You can listen to us in a podcast version by searching for hashtag live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow when we talk to Erica Henningsen of Mean Girls.